Hey guys, welcome back. Before we get into today's video, I do want to address what's going on in the world right now with the Black Lives Matter movement. First thing I'm going to say is that Black lives do matter, and I'm going to put some resources in the description below that hopefully can help you learn a little bit more about this movement. I'm trying to educate myself, and I'm going to put some links down there that have helped me to get educated on this matter. So with that being said, check out those links down below and let's get started with today's video. Hey guys, welcome back. As you can see, I am at the lake. It is early in the morning, so I am real tired. It is the 23rd of May, and I still have not finished Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I've barely started it. So I think today it's important that I really get this done. So let's sit by the lake and get some reading done.
Look at the bunny. Hi, Peter Rabbit. Hi, cutie. Okay, bye-bye.
So I've decided to go for a little walk up into the forest. Welcome to my fallen tree. It's quite damp. Just a heads up that I think this is going to be a spoilery review. All of these vlogs in the past have been spoiler-full reviews, so if you're not interested in that, then click away now. Also, there's a whole bunch of other books that I want to do a similar type series with. I've gotten a few comments asking me to do like this series or that series. If you guys have any other book series that you haven't heard me talk about before that you think I would like reading for the first time, you can also go and check out my Goodreads and see what series I've actually read before. So the link is in the description below. Definitely go and check that out if you want to recommend some book series for me to do similar series like this with. And if you want to see more videos like this, definitely hit the like and subscribe buttons. Also hit like if you just enjoy trees. If you're a forest person, hit the like button, because same. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Yesterday I got to page 122, and I've recognized that this time around I'm reading the book a lot faster. The book starts off a lot darker, and it just feels like where Prisoner of Azkaban was maybe... Is that a beaver? There's no way that this camera will see that in the woods, but there's some kind of... I don't know if it's like a groundhog or... It looked like a beaver. I've noticed that Prisoner of Azkaban was kind of like a transitionary book between middle grade and YA. I'm hearing all sorts of noises. There are bears in this area, by the way. But that's not a bear noise. That's way too quiet to be a bear. I'm realizing that Prisoner of Azkaban is definitely more of that transition book between middle grade and YA reading levels, whereas I think Goblet of Fire is pretty firmly in the YA realm. And I realize that because like right off the bat, you've got much darker imagery, you've got much darker themes going on, you've got more sophisticated language. Obviously the characters in this book are more so on the YA cusp than they are on the middle grade cusp. So I think Prisoner of Azkaban was that transition book, and now we are firmly in the YA category, which I'm really enjoying actually. I think that I was a little bit annoyed with the first two books for being so young, which I can't really fault them for that. Like if I started reading them when I was younger, I would have loved that. I would have loved to grow with the books, but now I'm reading them as a young adult. I guess technically I'm a full adult as reading terms go. There are tons and tons of books. I don't know if you can see them all buzzing around me. So Goblet of Fire is taking me a lot less time to read, or at least it feels like it's going by faster when I read it, which is interesting because with my copies of books anyways, there's actually more words per page. So the books are the same physical size in this box set that I have, but the words in this book are smaller on the page. So I definitely thought that it would take me way longer, but I think I'm just getting used to the writing style, and I enjoy the writing style, but it is going by a lot faster than I expected, which I'm really glad for, because I am at like the end of May now. It's like May 20, it's Sunday, I think it's the 24th. I will let you guys know what my continuing thoughts are on Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire in a little bit. What's up? It is 5:25 p.m. the day before I wanted this video to go up, and I'm not even 200 pages into Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I have been super stressed lately. I've been super excited, but also super stressed about something that I'm planning for, and that's been taking a lot out of me, and that's been taking up a lot of my days too. It's just there's a lot of planning and stuff that has to be involved with it, so I'm trying to be easy on myself. I'm trying not to be too hard on myself, but I really want to get this video done, and I want to get this book read. I do enjoy it, so feeling a little down on myself, but hopefully I can push tonight and read a good amount. So it's May 31st, and I have another 300 pages of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire to read. I am enjoying it so far, and I am going to try and finish it today. But also, I want to finish this as a part of the Medievalathon readathon, because I'm already not reading as much as I had hoped to read for that challenge. So I at least want to get this book done. This month has been a little bit of a shit show for me. I'm frustrated, but at the same time, I feel like it couldn't be helped. For those of you who are out there who are doing the Medievalathon, who also didn't read as much as they wanted to this month, I'm there with you. I totally understand. Life happens. I had a good time anyways doing it this month, what little reading I have done, and I'm gonna try and finish doing the rest of this Harry Potter book today. I gotta get reading. I'm not gonna lie, Moaning Myrtle is really funny in this book, like way more funny than she was in the first one that she was in. I've noticed that Harry and Ron especially are kind of rude in this book. Like maybe it's their sassy teenagerness coming out, but like they're kind of mean. Do any of the Hogwarts professors sleep? Because I feel like there's always at least one professor just milling about the castle at 2 in the morning. Like, what time do classes start? No wonder Snape's angry all the time. He's always like sleep deprived. Is this thing on? I might have a favorite quote so far in this book, and it goes to Sirius Black. If you want to know what a man's like, take a good look at how he treats his inferiors, not his equals. Sirius knows what's up. I think I like Sirius almost as much as I like Lupin. Do I look like Hagrid? So this book talks a lot about the Owlery, I've noticed. Owlery is a super cool word. I like that word. Second of all, I feel like if I was a Hogwarts student, I'd probably spend a lot of time in the Owlery, considering that I have worked with birds in the past, and it just feels like a very like me place to hang out. Other than like maybe all the bird droppings, that probably would be kind of gross. The only thing that I wonder about the Owlery is like, can the surrounding environment sustain having this many owls all the time? Presumably most of these owls are school owls, right? But then students can bring their own owl. And then the number of owls in the area goes up for like 10 out of the 12 months of the year, because, you know, summer and stuff. Unless, are they allowed to keep their owls at the school? But Harry doesn't. I'm sure Harry would if he could. These are the questions that keep me up at night. Also, another thing that I've noticed is that Professor Moody in the movie, again, I've watched the movies before, but I've never read the books until now. Professor Moody in the movies is like way more harsh and brash and like a scary, almost dislikable character. Whereas in the book, he's all those things, but he's also got like this redeeming factor of like cheekiness, and like he gives random compliments to people out of nowhere. And I don't know, I think I like Book Moody more. Like he feels like a more complex character, a deeper character. So I'm about 120 pages from being done this book. If you're getting this on June 1st, you're probably going to get this on June 1st. I'm sorry. But that just means that you're going to get 2 videos this month on these Harry Potter books. Because I'm going to finish Prisoner of Azkaban. No, I keep wanting to call the 5th book Prisoner of Azkaban. It's not. That's the one you just read, Nicole. Order of the Phoenix. And I'm very excited for Order of the Phoenix because I'm pretty sure that that was my favorite movie growing up. Mostly because of Umbridge, and I just love to hate Umbridge. But still, I'm kind of terrified because it's a very long book. So we'll see. Okay, bye. So I did end up finishing Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire in the month of May. Technically I finished it June 1st because I think it was like 1 a.m. on the 31st, but I did finish it. I ended up reading like the last 350 pages all in that last day on May 31st because things have been getting away from me. Again, I am really sorry that I haven't been more on top of this one. I'm going to try my best to be more on top of Order of the Phoenix. Getting into Goblet of Fire, I have basically just a couple of things I want to wrap up my thoughts on. First thing I want to bring up is SPEW, which I don't know what that stands for. I know it's like Society of Protection of Elfish Welfare, something like that. If you don't remember, or if you've never read the books, spoiler alert, I am talking about something that was not in the movies. Spew is basically Hermione's passion project in this fourth book. She wants to make sure that the elves, the house elves working at Hogwarts, are given fair pay and fair hours and are not overworked and are given good working conditions, which I completely support her in this. The thing that I did want to note about Spew is that if we look at it purely from like a plot device standpoint, I thought that it was a little bit non-satisfying. It was something that felt very paid attention to in the first half of the book, but in the second half of the book, I feel like Hermione, she saw that Dobby was working down in the kitchens, and she thought, oh, Dobby is a free elf, he can have kind of like a good influence on the other house elves down there, and she kind of just left it at that. Unless I'm missing something, maybe I did miss something when I, read the last 350 pages all in one day. It could have felt a lot more satisfying, even if they had just brought it up again later on, in like anywhere really in the second half of the book. It just felt very like forgotten about. So I'm hoping that that comes back. I'm hoping that we learn a little bit more about Spew and what happened to it, maybe in later books. Let me know in the comments if that is kind of the case. Other than that, Barty Crouch Jr. I like the whole like switcheroo thing going on with Barty Crouch Jr. and Mad-Eye Moody. I thought that was, really interesting when I watched the movie as a kid, and I thought it was really interesting now. I do kind of wish we knew more about the Barty Crouch Jr. story a little earlier in the book. I'm pretty sure that the first time we hear about Barty Crouch Jr. is in the second half of the book, and it felt like it would have been nice to have heard that this character existed and had a little bit of a spotlight put on him earlier on in the book. Again, I'm human, there definitely could be mention of him in the first half of the book and I just don't recall it, I don't know. But I felt like his character just kind of materialized out of nowhere and then suddenly was a big deal going in towards the end of the book. So I would have liked to see a little more about him. Last thing I have to say is a little bit of a rant, and that is that the end of this book, I'm gonna say maybe the last like 30 or 40 pages of this book is such an info dump, and it upsets me so much. It drives me insane. I do not like how info dumpy the end of this book was. I'm not going to say that it ruined the book for me or anything like that, but it definitely put a damper on the ending of this book for me, and definitely makes this book like a lower ranked book than some of the other ones that I've read so far. I think the reading experience kind of like all the way till like maybe here, this is the end of the book, maybe all of that was rather enjoyable. I really enjoyed kind of the more mature, slightly elevated writing style. I enjoyed that it was a bit darker. I enjoyed seeing our characters act their age. They're a little bit older, but they're still pretty young as teens go. I thought that was all really well done, and I really, really enjoyed that. It was just that last like 30 or 40 pages or so that just was so info dumpy. I don't even have an issue with the whole like kind of cliche villain monologue thing that Voldemort did in the end in the graveyard. I kind of thought that was cool, it gave us some good insight into what kind of a character he is now that we've seen him in full form, and it kind of made sense for him to have a big dramatic monologue because he just got back to having an actual physical form, like a proper physical form. It did kind of just feel like the author was tying up all the loose ends she could find by the end of the book, and that's something that I just could not get behind. I did not enjoy that one bit. This is my first time reading Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and I think that overall I would probably give it maybe like a 4.5. I don't know, what did I give Azkaban? I feel like, did I give Azkaban like a 4.75? I have to check. Yeah, I feel like this book was better than the first book, maybe on par with the second book, and then not as good as Azkaban. I definitely liked Azkaban better. I think I liked this one about the same as I liked Chamber of Secrets. So whatever I gave Chamber of Secrets, I think I would give to this one. This one's like maybe slightly better than Chamber of Secrets. I don't know. Not as good as Prisoner of Azkaban. I'll put the rating on screen here. Anyways, guys, that is everything that I've got for you today. Those are my final thoughts on Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, the fourth book in the series. There's only like 3 more left. If you guys enjoyed this video, do not hesitate to like and subscribe for future videos. We've got 3 more at least coming out in this series, and then I've got a whole bunch of videos that I want to do about the movies as well. So stay tuned for that. Again, check out those links in the description below to educate yourself more on the Black Lives Matter movement and contribute in any way that you can. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.